This podcast is brought to you by Three Rivers Energy Partners. In today's episode of Digest This.
Regenerative agriculture is set to grow from a $7.53 billion industry in 2023 to an eye-popping $25 billion by 2032.
I mean, these gaps can't just be ignored, and Routes to Regen is stepping in with collaborative solutions.
Over 100,000 acres of farmland are adopting regenerative practices.
Welcome to Digest This, Unpacking Our Sustainable Future, where we dive deep into the latest developments in sustainability and renewable energy. Join us in exploring the pioneering solutions and technologies that are shaping our future. Now, let's dive into today's episode.
Today we are going to cover something that we are particularly fond of, and that is regenerative agriculture. Our founders even have a history in farming.
That's right. We are huge proponents of regenerative agriculture at Three Rivers Energy Partners. It really is a key element in what we do. The byproduct from our digesters is actually soil nutrients that we plan to put in the hands of farmers to help improve their soil health.
And that creates a truly sustainable cycle for our projects. Making sure the nutrients from the original materials used to create the feedstock for our digesters is returned to the earth.
It really is amazing to think about how regenerative ag practices can complete the sustainability cycle for industrial practices and renewable energy production like ours.
All right, Emily, let's go over some numbers published in the recent report from SNS Insider on the regenerative agriculture market. Picture this. They are saying just 10 years from now, regenerative agriculture is set to grow from a $7.53 billion industry in 2023 to an eye-popping $25 billion by 2032. That's not just some average trend. That's a 14.3% compound annual growth rate. It's huge, right?
It really is. And what stands out is how this growth aligns directly with increasing consumer awareness, corporate commitments, and, government backing. It's not just buzz. It's becoming a full-blown movement.
Exactly. And at the heart of it are the practices that make it all work. You've got agroforestry, adding trees alongside crops, reduced tillage, and soil-focused techniques that are like eco-multipliers. These methods don't just grow food, they sequester carbon, improve water use efficiency, and boost biodiversity.
Right, Alex. SNS Insider's report is saying that farms that adopt these practices are actually seeing up to 30% higher water efficiency, and their ability to sequester soil carbon, well, that's key for tackling climate change. But let's not overlook the hurdles.
Oh, for sure. Like the transition costs? Switching from conventional farming to regenerative methods, that's a big leap, especially for small-scale farmers. Have you seen those numbers, Emily?
Absolutely. The upfront investments for regenerative practices can be significant, ranging from equipment to training. And honestly, it's not an overnight payoff. Improvements in soil productivity can take years to really show up. At Three Rivers Energy Partners, we recognize the struggles farmers have, which is why we are going to be utilizing automated application equipment and selling our soil nutrients at a discount to the local farmers when we can. Farmers are the backbone of our country and often get overlooked.
They really are, and they take on big risks. It's like betting on yourself when the deck's stacked. But here's where other innovation steps in. Carbon credit programs are making a difference. Farmers can actually monetize the carbon they sequester, selling those credits to corporations looking to meet sustainability goals. It's like sustainability and profitability finally shaking hands.
Yes, and according to the SNS Insider report, platforms like Indigo Ag and Nori are creating ways for farmers to measure, verify, and trade those credits, giving them an incentive to adopt sustainable practices. But, there's still work to be done in standardizing metrics and ensuring equitable access.
Totally, and that's where the big question lies. How do we lower barriers while scaling these solutions? But Emily, stick with me here because some pretty cool innovations are happening right now, particularly in, of all places, the bourbon industry. Speaking of innovations, did you see the recent article by the Whiskey Reviewer about Kentucky's major distillers committing to regenerative farming? Let's take a closer look at Kentucky. They are saying over 100,000 acres of farmland are adopting regenerative practices. The Kentucky Distillers Association, KDA, is linking up with Precision Conservation Management, PCM, and the Kentucky Corn Growers Association, KCGA, to put into place a $2.8 million push for these efforts. Now, that's what I call a collaborative effort making waves.
It's fascinating, Alex. And this effort is being supported by Brown-Forman, Diageo North America, Heaven Hill Brands, and Suntory Global Spirits. The goal here is really twofold, right? On one side, you have farmers gaining access to expert conservation specialists, folks who help them adopt practices like reduced tillage and cover cropping. On the other, you've got these distilleries aligning their supply chains with sustainability goals. It's a win-win.
Totally. And what sticks out to me is how they're tackling one of the biggest challenges head-on: time. Farmers already make hundreds of decisions a year. Adding regenerative agriculture likely feels overwhelming. But here's where those specialists come in, easing the burden and offering, hands-on practical advice.
Exactly. And the Whiskey Reviewer article quoted a Kentucky farmer said something that really stayed with me. He mentions having already worked with PCM, said he has, quote, seen how helpful this program has been to my on-farm decision-making, end quote. Hearing how these resources have already helped farmers is great insight into what is to come from this initiative.
And the financial benefits, Emily. Let's not sleep on that. The article states that these farmers are not just regenerating their soil, they're stabilizing yields and increasing revenue through programs like sign-on bonuses and, wait for it, acre-based incentives.
Right, those incentives are directly tied to practices that reduce environmental impact, like better nitrogen efficiency and planting cover crops. It's incredible to see how interconnected this is. Better farming practices mean better bourbon, but also healthier ecosystems. The synergy here is remarkable.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate sustainability flywheel, and it's being powered by corporate commitments. But here's the kicker. These practices aren't just good for business, they're shaping how we redefine farming itself. And speaking of redefining, the UK is taking a different approach with this new initiative. Emily, you know the one I mean, right?
Absolutely, Alex. The UK's Routes to Regen initiative under the Sustainable Markets Initiative is another inspiring case of redefining farming through collaboration. According to a recent article from AgFunder News, AFN, they're rallying companies like McDonald's, McCain Foods, and financial institutions like Lloyd's Banking Group and others to give farmers the tools and financial support they need to embrace these changes.
Totally. And what really caught my attention is how they're making it, achievable, Farmers get access to things like peer-to-peer events and on-farm advice. It's not just about saying, hey, go do this. It's about meeting farmers where they are. This sounds like a similar approach to what we are seeing in Kentucky.
Exactly. And they're tackling barriers like fragmented support systems and the financial risks of transitioning. I mean, these gaps can't just be ignored. And Routes to Regen is stepping in with collaborative solutions. It's showing that sustainable change requires cooperation across industries.
Yeah, because the costs are no joke. According to a recent article by the World Business Council for Sustainable Development, WBCSD, transitioning can cost between $2,000 to $5,000 per hectare. Even with incentives, there's still a gap that needs filling. But if you streamline those supports, it's like unlocking the entire system for success.
And partnerships are key to that, Alex. Public and private sectors working together, that's how you de-risk the transition and really get momentum. I mean, what's happening in the UK and Europe could inform regions all over the world, especially if we share what's working.
Exactly. It's like the lessons from one region could set the stage for global momentum. These models aren't just policies, they're roadmaps we can adapt anywhere. But, Emily, what's your big takeaway from this episode?
Oh, it's got to be the power of collaboration. Whether it's distilleries in Kentucky or corporations in Europe, the common thread is partnership and shared incentives. It just works better when everyone's aligned on the same goals.
Couldn't agree more. Regenerative agriculture isn't just this nice idea. It's a practical, scalable solution that's shaping our future. And on that note, listeners, that's all for today. Keep thinking sustainably, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you for listening to Digest This, Unpacking Our Sustainable Future, a Three Rivers Energy Partners podcast. Three Rivers Energy Partners is a renewable energy company that empowers organizations with the ability to create a sustainable future by converting organic waste streams into renewable energy and resources. To get the latest episode of Digest This, or to find out more about Three Rivers Energy Partners, visit threeriversenergy.com or find us on LinkedIn, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. The sustainable future is being created right now. Keep exploring and keep up to speed with the latest in renewable energy and sustainability. See you next time.